If your Facebook ads aren't converting, there are a plethora of reasons why that might be, all of which I've covered at some point on this channel. But if you were to ask me what is the most common reason, I would say at least 50% of the time it's because people are not resonating with your messaging. And when you consider there's at least probably 10 different reasons why your campaign is converting, that means that the other 9 things are all sharing that final 50%. So one thing on this list occupies 50% while the other 9 share the remaining 50%. And that reason is your messaging. It doesn't matter what you do in any other part of your campaign, your landing page, your funnel, your targeting, all that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter what you do in all those things if your target audience doesn't resonate with what it is that you're saying. And this sounds easier said than done, right? Because we like our products and we're excited to get them out there and we know we're selling something that's very good. We put it out there and it's just crickets. So you have to think of where your target audience is. So while this is a video I could easily turn into a 45 to 60 minute masterclass, I'm going to distill this down as quickly and simply and as possible for you so you can have some takeaways and understand the process that my team and I go through when we're seeing that we're having issues with resonating with our target audiences. So, as I mentioned previously, you have to understand where your target audience is at. So here's a really great example. So recently we were promoting this product for a client of ours. He's selling a Power Query course for Excel users. Now, we had been running ads to this for a very, very long time and it just wasn't sticking, right? We could get some decent results for a short period of time but then it would dwindle away. It's only a $27 purchase, so nothing super crazy, but again, we weren't getting any kind of consistent results. So then we had to take a step back and ask ourselves, okay, where exactly is our target audience? And what we realized after thinking and pausing on this is that most people don't even know what Power Query is, even if they are an Excel user and even if they have heard of Power Query, it's likely they just have a very vague idea of what the heck it is that we're talking about. So there's a couple of challenges that we have to overcome. People don't even realize, or a good chunk of the people don't even realize what Power Query is, and then even if they do know what it is, they know very little and they just don't quite understand why they need to care about what Power Query is. The other issue for this type of target audience is obviously we are in the age of AI, and so a lot of people are like, oh, even if there's something that I can't get Excel to do, I'm just gonna have AI do it and that will solve my problem. While that can be true in many cases, Power Query is actually something that can still be more powerful and more convenient and faster than AI. And so there's a lot of challenges and hurdles that we have to overcome, but the first thing that we always do, and I always tell people this is the most important micro conversion you need to be thinking about up front, is stopping the scroll, right? People are going on social media, they're trying to see what their friends are posting about, seeing cute pictures of animals and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere pops your ad about an Excel Power Query course, right? It's very disruptive, right? So you have to be able to make sure that you catch the scroll, or stop the scroll I should say, and then get people to understand what it is. So let me go ahead and share my screen again, and I'll walk you through kind of how we thought through this process through to start getting some results. All right, so before I do a full breakdown of the ad, I wanted to show it in this format simply because when you look at it on the Facebook side, it looks like this. And so I always tell people, look at it what it looks like on mobile first, and that's going to give you a good idea of kind of what the actual user experience is. So I always tell people that the thing that's going to get the scroll to stop the most, although it's not always the case, but it is your creative, right? And so again, we are targeting working professionals, typically in a management position, or people who are trying to get to that management level type of position. And so when they see an ad, and actually let me play this, or the text doesn't appear right away for all of them. So it appears as you go. So, right, the first thing they see is when I started automating Excel instead of spending hours of data cleanup every single week. So if that resonates with you, if you're scrolling through your phone, you're someone who does data cleanup and you spend a lot of time doing it, that's immediately going to get you to stop, right? And then they see freed up time for more fun and important projects, reduce stress and overtime trying to get everything done, and boss gave me new opportunities that led to raises and promotions. So automatically we're touching upon all the things that we're talking about that are benefits for this product. Particularly, the boss gave me new opportunities that led to raises and promotions. That is a huge part of the target audience. So here, it's just a very benefit driven type of creative, which is totally fine. But what we try to do here is, okay, we need to make sure that these people understand that we know like what their challenges are and they're suffering. If we're just focused on the benefits saying, hey, Power Query is so awesome, we're going to miss out on a lot. So let me go back to how the ad actually looks, and let me make this actually bigger here so we can kind of break it down more easily. There we go. So remember, the video is kind of probably what's going to catch their attention the most. And I know this is a little small to see, so let me zoom in here. All right, there we go. And so, right, they see the whole video and they see someone just at their work computer drinking coffee. Again, probably something that they really, really resonate with. By the way, that's probably what they do every single day. And so, again, all these things to kind of get them to stop the scroll and think. But then when we look at the accompanying ad copy, it's basically the inverse of kind of what we're talking about in the video itself. So ever had that sinking feeling when your boss asks for one more change to that data report you spent hours preparing, and then is data cleanup draining your, and it gets a little bit cut off in here unfortunately, but draining your time. So while the video here is, you know, paints this really rosy picture with the ad copy and the headline, we're telling them, hey, we know what it is that you're going through. And again, that's going to get them to be like, oh, okay, well, I understand these people get me, right? They don't only know where I want to go, they understand where I am right now at this second. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the actual ad copy itself. Let me go back in here. And let me reset this. All right, cool. So we already saw that part right there. Now remember, to the challenges that we have, people don't know what Power Query is, and they often think that AI can solve their solutions. So those are the two things we have to overcome right there. So first, we keep on hitting those pain points nice and hard, right? We want them to understand, fully understand, like we understand what it is that you're going through. So pain point, pain point, pain point. And now we have to overcome objection number one, which is, oh, I can just use AI, right? So while AI is making headlines, it can actually make data preparation more complicated. Asking AI to help you with Excel is like asking it to draw a donut. You never know what you'll get, and the results are different every single time. So if you have used AI at all to create images, well, it's really great, and you've used it many times actually to create ads, it is very inconsistent for sure. Like you ask it to create a donut 5 times, you're gonna get 5 very different, you know, displays of a donut, and some of them aren't even gonna look like a real donut. So it's telling you, hey, AI as of right now is really inconsistent, and that's not going to help you in terms of being efficient and saving time. So, but what if you could benefit, talking about the things that we know that they want, all without AI, right? So we're overcoming the whole thing like, hey, AI can't help you, but as of right now, it's going to be very inconsistent. Does this sound impossible? Yes, it probably does. And now we're introducing them to the Power Query course. Now, this is really important. Look how low down the ad copy we're even talking about Power Query. That's the whole thing that we're selling here. And it's not until way down here that we even mention Power Query, because we have to overcome all these things over here first. And again, these people probably don't even know what Power Query is, so we have to really ease into it. If we started at the beginning of the ad saying, hey, Power Query is really awesome, you should buy this course, no one's gonna understand what it is that we're talking about. We have to really ease into it. And so here we're telling it gives you identical results every single time, right? And so we really emphasize that right there with it being capitalized and the periods right there. And then we provide a real example right here that someone who took this course was able to resolve using Power Query. And then, okay, cool. Now the other thing that comes like, okay, cool, Power Query sounds awesome, but what do I have to do to get it? Good news, it's already built into Excel, so there's no expensive tools that they have to buy. And so now they start talking about the course, and then they go into a little bit of the, you know, what you can start achieving by using Power Query, and, you know, not letting inconsistent AI solutions frustrate them even further. And then obviously they can go to the course, to the sales page and learn about that even more. So hopefully through this, you saw the customer journey that we took them on just in the ad. Obviously we have to do a little bit more education on the sales page itself in terms of, okay, here's exactly what Power Query is, and that's all done on the sales page. page. But recognizing where our target audience is, again, this is worth repeating because it's really the whole point, is they don't know what Power Query is. If they do know what it is, they have a very poor understanding of it, and a lot of them just think they can use AI to solve the problems. We address all of that step by step by step in the ad copy, and also, as you saw, we put the creative together very carefully so that it would be something that would capture people's attention, stop the scroll, and get them to read the remainder of the ad. So while there's a lot of shiny objects we can go out and look for to try to fix your campaigns, like I said, at least 50% of the time, it's actually just your messaging. Your messaging is not resonating with your target audience. So pause, think deeply about where your target audience is, the objections that they are going to have in their heads, and what journey you have to take them on in order to convince them to click over to your sales page. So hopefully this all made sense. I know it can be challenging when it comes to messaging. It really actually is the most difficult part of the Facebook ads campaign, but that's why I always tell people this is where you should be spending most of your time. The campaign creation, all that kind of stuff, that takes 10 minutes, right? Spend the vast majority of your time putting together really powerful messaging. So hopefully you found this to be helpful, but as always, if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments section below. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.